Writing prompt. We finally get men on Mars, and they discover an old Soviet flag placed down decades ago. The Soviets won the space race, but for whatever horrifying reason, didn't say anything. You know that feeling you get when you think you're alone, head down, bumming along doing your own thing, when you suddenly realize someone's been there the whole time, watching you. It's a jump, a kickstart, a burst of adrenaline. Your whole body's saying, something's not right, be on guard. You immediately begin to second-guess your actions. What was I doing? How did I miss them? What are their intentions? It's a deep, primal, animalistic response to being startled. That's the feeling I got when I caught a glimpse of the flag the first time. There I am, one of 3 people on an entire planet, scouting for physical evidence of ancient riverbeds. We'd been here for 4 Earth days at this point, so I was used to the unexciting terrain. Rocks and dust everywhere, red and black and brown, endlessly in all directions. I had come around a small rocky hill, scanning this horizon, and there it was, to my left, a flagpole. I think I did a double take. Half, that's a flagpole. Half, that's a flagpole. I stopped dead in my tracks and re-evaluated my position. I was on Mars. There were 3 of us. Nobody had ever been here before. None of my crew members had been out this way. But yet, that was distinctly a flagpole. As I approached it, the wind kicked up and revealed the tattered remains of a Cold War-era Soviet flag. Had to be at least 100 years old. My mind was still trying to wrap itself around why this was here, and my body was telling me to run. My hands felt sweaty, and my breathing was heavy. At the base of the flag was a black cube, about a foot each dimension. It had handprints set into 2 sides. My curiosity got the better of me. At this point, I really should have radioed into my team to tell them what I had found. I should have marked the location on my nav map and retreated, to be explored later. I shouldn't have touched the box, but I did. I placed my hands where the outlines were on each side, and as I did, my head exploded. It was like a shot of lightning, stabbing me in the eyes, searing pain gripping my entire body, unholy screams tearing through my ears. Unable to breathe, unable to move, it felt like I was being compressed into a marble and torn into a billion pieces at the same time. The event lasted for what seemed like a lifetime, and then it just stopped. I was left with an understanding, knowledge. Somehow the cube had implanted a lesson in me instantaneously. I knew why the Soviet flag was here. I knew why the Russians had never claimed any great accomplishment on Mars. I knew why the cube was here. It was a warning, a last-ditch effort by humanity of old to save us from ourselves. I knew it all to be true. The solar system had been seeded with life by a passing comet several billion years ago. Earth, Mars, and a third planet between Mars and Jupiter, understood as Utopia in the transfer. Similar life forms evolved on each of the planets, but humanity had evolved on Utopia within the last several 100,000 years. Over time, humanity had reached the point of being able to visit the other 2 worlds and had begun to establish small colonies for research. Over time, Mars would become more heavily populated. Earth was the sore thumb of the trio, with the least favourable environment, and was therefore left to the scientists to poke and prod at, never a plan for full colonization. Mars became a second arm of the human civilization, growing larger and attaining its own identity. Political strife created a rift between Mars and Utopia, and eventually war. War that would last 1,000 years. War that was so ingrained into the minds of the Martians and the Utopians that they did not know another existence. War that was taken to such extremes that when the Utopians began the irreversible process of siphoning Mars's atmosphere, the Martians blew up Utopia. I could feel the pain of billions of lives lost, as though I was there to witness the events unfold. The remnants of humanity that were able to escape Mars left for Earth, and left behind the cubes as a reminder of what once was, and as a warning that there were no more second chances. Earth is all there is left. The history books will tell you that America won the Cold War, but I now understand the truth. The Soviets had won, and they had won by silently backing down for the good of humanity. There would be no second chance. We were already living it.